I've been living with cancer for 45 years. My wife and I were married in 1970, and about 6 weeks later, I was all of a sudden diagnosed with testicular cancer. It was a pretty sobering moment. It took a while for me to accept just how close I had come to dying at a pretty young age. In 1989, I was diagnosed with melanoma and treated at Salem Hospital, Salem, Massachusetts. In 2006, my PSA spiked. I thought, yikes, here we go again. How many more times can I dodge this bullet? The best course of action was to have my prostate removed, which was done at Dartmouth Hitchcock. I've actually been woodworking all of my life. I somewhat grew up with a hammer in my hand. The sense of being absorbed, being totally in the moment when I'm in the shop, is important to me. Currently, I am working on 2 bureaus for my daughter and son-in-law. Just producing the pieces is rewarding by itself, but knowing that someone will be using it and enjoying it for a good long while, maybe even multiple generations, is also part of the reward for me. In December of 2014, I remember sticking my hands in my pocket and all of a sudden my left hand hitting a bump in my thigh. And it became clear that this was a recurrence of the melanoma from 1989. At the time of the biopsy of the tumor, a scan was done and the doctors identified a mass on my adrenal gland. The assumption was that the melanoma had metastasized to the adrenal gland. I began to wonder, did I literally have months to live? I don't want to die. I want to watch my grandchildren grow up. I love being a grandfather. I was just getting started on building these 2 bureaus for my daughter and son-in-law. I realized that I might not be able to finish those bureaus. Life went on hold. Although the mass on my adrenal gland was proving to be something of a mystery, the docs began to pose the question of maybe it's not melanoma, maybe in fact it's this other kind of cancer called a pheochromocytoma. The conclusion was that that should then be removed surgically. That surgery took place on a Thursday afternoon. By Saturday afternoon, I was sent home. Sunday morning, I woke up, got dressed, came downstairs and said to my wife, I feel better. All of a sudden, I realized I could make these bureaus for my son-in-law and daughter that were out there just waiting for me to get back to them. I could have died 45 years ago. I could have died with the prostate diagnosis. I could have died with the recurrence of the melanoma. And yet, here I am because of some smart, talented, able medical personnel at Dartmouth Hitchcock have made it possible for me to be here today. I'm a grateful guy.